All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining from Lagos, from Ilorin, everywhere. Thank you so much. My name is Damilare, and I'll be your host again today. It's a wonderful day, and I sincerely hope that today again we are going to trust God to help us to learn something new in our journey to build an e-commerce website that we have started since Monday. You guys are really trying. You are trying. Please let me know if you can hear my voice. Please drop it in the chat so that I will not just be speaking. I want to know before I start the training proper. Let me know if you can hear my voice. Okay, thank you so much. Um, Today we are going to be learning something new. We are going to be learning something new. Then we are going to continue to add to our project. Yes, we'll be adding to it. That was where we stopped yesterday, and I'll be continuing from there today. I still have not heard if people can hear me. If you can hear me, please let me know. If you can hear my voice, let me know. Thank you. Favor, you are welcome. I can see you. Ayodeji, I know. Thank you so much for joining. Owóẹ̀yẹ Táíwò Títílọpẹ́, thank you so much for joining. Ayodeji, I know it's my boss. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. Okay. I don't know if people are hearing me. Please, I need you to put it in the chat. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. I want to be sure before I continue that I'm being heard by people. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much. Good. Let's continue now. So let's fire on without wasting time, because today I want us to finish our quiz. We have like 24 questions piled up already. I want us to do that quiz. I want us to build this project also to a reasonable point. At the same time, I want us to learn one or two things in our learning journey. So let's start with the learning. Let me just use like 10 or 15 minutes or so for that learning. Okay. Now, if you have been seeing links, that they use links on web pages. They have been using links on web pages. So today we are going to be looking at how these links are produced. How are they produced? And then we are going to still be I'm using my project file. So whatever I do here now, I'm going to be deleting it. I'm going to be deleting whatever I do here now because it is my project file and I need it to be as clean as possible. But I'm going to be using it to demonstrate what I want to teach us today. So let's see. Let me see what is happening. Okay, good. Now, I want to create a link. The name of the link, what we use to create links in web development is what we call anchor. We call it anchor tags. You know, we have been talking about tags all this while. H1 tag, P tag, div tag, a lot of tags like that. So this one also is a tag, and then it is called anchor tag. Now, anchor tag, as the name, you know, we have been picking the name from the letter from the name. For example, paragraph P, header tag H1, H2, so stuff like that. The same thing with this one, anchor tag. Can I hear you say, can you guess what we use to denote anchor tag in HTML? Okay, for those of you that got it correctly, you are right. A is the letter that we use for anchor tag. So when you do your A, once you type A, it's going to give you that image something. Once it brings this image out, just press tab and it's going to give you something like this. All right, it's going to give you something that looks like this. So A is the anchor tag itself, but this tag cannot work alone. Unlike paragraph tag, that you can just put paragraph tag and put something inside and it will show. This one, it cannot work alone by you just typing anchor tag. You must put an attribute there. These things are called attributes. Things that you put inside tags are called attributes. So I'm going to type it here for you to see. Attributes. So they have attributes that anchor tag has an attribute that must be followed, that must follow it for you to work well. And that attribute is the link where you want it, the link of where you want it to link to. So for example, if I want this guy to link to Google Google website, I want it to link to Google website. So I want it to link to Google website. So I will type Google website. Let me save it now so that you can see what it looks like. You will see it right here now. Can you see Google website here? Okay, it's having that underlining there because it is a link. That is the default behavior of links, of hyperlinks. They will have underlining and their color will be like that too. So you can use CSS to adjust it, to remove the underline and to change the color. But that is not what I want us to focus on today. What I want us to focus on is how do we make this thing go to wherever we want it to go. Like this one now, I want it to go to Google website. So inside this href is where the magic will happen. I will just put the address of where I want it to go. For example, https://google.com. When I put that there, so anytime this thing is clicked, anytime this Google website here is clicked, it's going to register that, oh, I think it's going to google.com. So let's test it now and see if it works. And if it does not work, we'll look at what else can we do to make it work. I'm ready to click it. I'll be clicking it in 3, 2, and 1. And this thing will take me to another page. I don't want it to take me to, it will take me. Anyway, I'm clicking it already. And then you can see that it has worked. It has actually taken me to Google page. But you see that it replaced what was there before. What was there before was my project, but now it has changed to Google website. So let me click on back. Hopefully I'll be able to get that one back. Okay, I'm getting it back. Now, what do we do if we don't want our Google website link to take away our current page? We want it to open, but we don't want it to open in this window. We want it to open in a different window from what we are currently working on. How do I do that? I will come inside this place again. I've already given one attribute, which is href. Then I'm going to give another attribute. I will say target. Target is the name of the attribute. Target lets you be able to decide how do you want it to open. So I will say target equal to, then I will put this string there. We use this to represent strings in web development and programming. So target equal to, and my value will be underscore blank. Once you begin to type underscore, it's going to bring it out for you like this. Target equal to underscore blank. Just save it. You will not see any noticeable change here. But when you click this thing now, it will not take away this one. It will open in a new tab by the side here. Let's go. I'm going to click it in 3, 2, and 1. And then you see, we see our project here. Then we have a new Google web page on this side. That is the power of target equal to underscore blank that we have here. What else can we do? To an anchor tag, we can also make it look like a button, even though it's a link, but we can make it look like a button by styling it. To be able to style this anchor tag, I can use class like we talked about yesterday. We talk about class and we talk about ID also. We talk about ID also yesterday. So let me use, I can use ID, I can use class actually. Like Thomas was saying that he does not see any difference between between ID and class, since class is even more useful than ID. But when we get to where each of them has their own usefulness anyway, it's just because of the level that we are in. I'm trying to make sure that we don't load us with too much confusing information. All right, let's see. I want to give this one a class, so let me use a class now. I will type class and I will say equal to. It will give me this quotation mark and I will say web link. Let me just use web-link. Web-link. So if I want to style that, I will come to my style CSS, and because it is a class, I must start picking it with dot. Then I will say web-link, exactly the name I used in that place. And when I'm done typing the name, I must put my curly braces and open it like this. The first thing I can do is to remove the underlining from them. I don't want underline to show up. It is unprofessional in a website for links to have underline. So we normally don't want to put underline in there. So I will say text decoration. Text decoration. As I begin to type text, it's going to give me all these options. I will say text decoration and I will select it, and then I have all these options. If I choose wavy, it's going to have wavy underline. If I choose overline, there's going to be a line on top instead of underline. But I don't want anything. Okay, let me start with this overline. Save it. Then you are going to see that there is line on top instead of underline. So let me choose another option. Another option, text decoration equal to none. The options are not coming again because I have scattered the something. Okay, so text decoration, and then so please you can try the remaining options at home when you are less busy, but I'm going to be choosing none for now, so that the underlining will go away from it. Apart from that, what else can we do? I can change the color. Let's say I want the color to be something else. I want the color to be, let's say, coral. Will coral show very well on this? Coral will not show very, okay, it's showing very well. It's showing fine. So I can say color is equal to coral. Let me change the font size too. Font size, let me say 24 pixels. 24 pixels, and I save it. Then it becomes this big. Now I can change the background color. I can change the background color to, this one should show well on this one. Save. Then it looks like this. What else can I do? There is something else that I want us to learn today. It's called border radius. If you check this link now, all the edges are very sharp. The edges are very sharp. How do we make the edges not to be this sharp? That thing is called border radius. So you come here and say border. As you begin to type border, you have border radius right here. So click on it, and then you can set it to maybe 10 pixels and save it. And you see that it has changed it to a curving of 10 pixels now. If I make it 20 pixels, it's going to curve even more. If I make it 30 pixels, it's going to even curve more and more and more. It's going to continue to curve like that. But let's leave it at 10 pixels for now. 10 pixels for now. So that is a link, and it will always take us to Google page. I hope we are learning. So now that is about anchor tag that I want us to learn today. I've already told us about when we hover something, but let's go straight into our project right now. Then we'll be learning the rest in our project. Don't forget what we have learned so far. If you are learning something, you are gaining something, put it in the chat. Let what you are learning be seen in the chat. Oh wow, I have learned anchor tag. That is beautiful. All right, let's go to our project. I'm going to be deleting this anchor tag. I don't need it in my project. I don't need it today. I just use it to teach us something. So in our project, this is what we have already. Then we are going to start it. We are going to take it little by little. We are not going to rush. Let's first of all work on row 1. Row 1 is this one that we have on top here. Let me see if I can get a marker to be depicting what's happening on the screen to us. So row 1 is this logo and this thing by the right side like this. I hope we still remember how we did this yesterday. I hope we still remember how we did this. So this will be row 1. Everything here is row 1. All right, everything there is row 1. And we have used flex to make them stand apart like that. The next thing I want to do is to make this thing actually look like menu. If you check the finished product, these menu links are not standing like this. They actually line up horizontally like this. All right, so that is what we want to achieve now, for them to line up like that and to look nice. So let me go there. Now, to be able to fix this one, I will go to where I wrote it. I wrote it right here. This is the code that is producing all this one. So I'm seeing that it's an unordered list, and inside unordered list, I'm seeing list item. So I'm going to go into my CSS. This one, I don't need a class for it, because anytime I use unordered list on my work in my project, this thing that I want to set will almost always be the same for all UL tags that you might have in your project. So we are going to pick the UL now. This one is not needed again because I've already deleted the element that is using it. I'm going to pick UL. and I will say I want to write the style for it. Don't forget, UL is just an element. It's not a class and it's not an ID. So I can just write UL like that because it is a tag. So it will look for it and it will know where it is. For UL, I first of all want to remove all these dots. I don't want to see this dot there. What do? We pick on list style type. List style type. I can actually change it to square. If I save it now, you will see that it should change to square. It's not changing. Congratulations. Let's see. Type, list style type. Where I'm going to is actually to say none. I don't want any list style type there. Then that one should go away. All the bullet points now have gone away. That is by this just one line that I've typed. Now, let's talk about the fact that they are stacking on top of each other like a block. In a block display, you will be putting things on top of one another. So home is on top of about is on top of contact. They will not stay beside each other. But we've learned something in this week that could help us achieve us lining them on a straight line. And what was that? Can you still remember? Can you still remember? Put it in the chat if you can remember before I say it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll say it now. It is flex. Talk about flex. Flex makes things stay beside each other. Although you can still use it to make things to stand on top. But flex primarily, once you just use it by default, it will make things stay beside each other. So I can say for content of UL, make the display. Once you begin to type display, it will give you display here. You click on display and then you can choose flex. By the time you save it, this is what you have immediately. So it will make them not to stand on top of each other again, but to stay beside each other. Now, what else do you need? You would have been guessing that there is supposed to be a space between each of these guys. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. How do we create space there without actually stressing out? There are two ways to create the space. Let me use the other one first. The other one. Is it really hard? It's not hard, actually. It's not hard. So let me use the first one. The first one is to use margin. So we have different types of margin. We have margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right, a lot of margin up there. Margin means the distance that we want between one item and the other. Between one item, which is this one, and the other. But now, with that explanation, you will now see that this item here, home, is a list item. By the time you check it, home is a list item. So I want to set the margin between this list item and this list item. So I'm going to be using list item instead of putting it inside another list. So I'll clear this one and come into here and say list item. Don't forget, this list item, whatever you write inside this list item will affect everything, every list item you have in your work. So if you believe, if you even think that you have more than one list item and you want something different to happen, you remember you have to use either class or ID. But for my case, I'm going to still be using LI because whatever I'm putting inside this LI, for now, it can still affect every LI on my page. So I'm going to be writing margin right now so that after home, there will be some space to the right before we can see about. That's the meaning of margin. Margin creates gap between two elements. So margin -right. Then it gives me this one. I will click on it and then set it to maybe 20 pixels. I will save it. And when I save it, this is what I have on the screen. Is it looking better? Yes, it's looking better. Let's change the color. Let's change the color. The color I want to use is this color called #CCC. This is the color I want to use for the text. Oh, that is too light. So let me make it 555. I told you what color, how colors are formed. Colors are formed from 0 up to 9, then A, B, C, D, E, F. F is the maximum number. So any color having all Fs is going to be white. Any color having 0 is the lowest value of colors. Any color having all 0 is going to be black. So this color having 555 now is in between black and white. That is why it's looking like this. So the higher I go, the whiter it becomes. If I make it 999 now, 999, then it becomes even whiter. If I make it, and so on and so forth. So let me leave it at 555, please. 555. Now, this is one way to set the set the gap between them. The other way, which I want you to also learn this evening, it is very useful. Very useful. I use it every day in my work. I'm going to take this margin right away and I will save it so that it can go back to where it was before, like this. Don't forget that we use flex to flex them, to make them stay beside each other. Anytime you use flex, there is a rule that you can always use to space out things inside that flex. But this one now, we'll be putting it inside the container, not on the item itself. So that is gap. Gap. Just type gap, and then you put something there. You put your colon there, and then you say gap of 20 pixels. And then when you save it, you are still going to get the same result. Like that. Okay. With that, now we have been able to make our menu list to show on a horizontal line, and it's looking better now. Let's look at our logo. This logo is it too wide or too tall? I think it's too tall. Let me check the bigger one. Okay, it's looking fine here too. All right, I think it's looking fine. But let's try and put border radius that we talked about just now on this one. Let's put border radius on it. You know, we just talked about border radius now. Let's see if it will work on this one too. Where's our image? This is our image here inside our logo. First row, logo. So I'm going to see if it has any class. Yes, there's a class there called logo. Let me look for it here. Logo is here. Let me try and put that border radius there and see what happens. Border radius. Border radius of, let's say 20 pixels for now. I will save it and let's see what happens. Can you see that it has removed all the sharp edges and now they are now curvy? That is what border radius can help you do. We use this one also every day. It makes things beautiful on the web instead of just having sharp edges all around. We can have that that rounded shape. Now, the last thing I want to do on this first row is this. You will notice that this cat is already very close to the end of the line. The same thing with the logo, is very close to the top and very close to the left. So I'm going to be putting what we call padding. Padding. Let me write it here for you to see. Padding. I know today you have learned about margin. You can still try and use margin, but you can try and use margin so that you can know how it works really. But now I want to introduce us to padding also. Now what padding will do is that it's going to create, once I use it now on this container, I can use it on row 1 alone. I think I'll be using it on all of them. I'll be using it on this pink container, which is wrapper. This wrapper, I'll be using it on this wrapper so that it will, anything that I put inside it will be squeezed inward. This is what I mean. I want to use it on this wrapper now. So I will go to style.css and find my wrapper class. This is my wrapper class here. Okay, I'll go to the end of the line, press enter because I want to write another one. So I will say padding, not passing, padding. And once you do padding, you put your colon there and then you give it a value. Let's start with a value of, let's say 15 pixels now. 15 pixels, and then you save. Once you save, you are expecting it to be affected in your work by pushing things inside, but things are not being pushed inside. They are still staying the way they are. Okay, let's see why that one is happening. Inside this div, we have the first row. Okay, it has been pushed inside. It's just taking a while for my system to process it because I'm using that same system to stream the video to you. You can see that it has been pushed inward now. Let me increase the size from 15, the padding, from 15 to, let's say 35, so that you can see it clearly what we are talking about. Can you see now? It has become even, it has come inside the more. And that is one of the uses of padding. Padding makes things come inside the container. It will not make them touch the edge. That's the meaning of padding. Okay, I'm going to be leaving it at, let me leave it at 20 pixels so that you can have something like this now. Let me come to row 2 now. I think I'm fine. I'm okay with first row. I'm okay with this first row. First row starts from here and ends here. So second row starts from here and then ends here. Once you click on the beginning, the ending will automatically be highlighted for you. So this is second row. The second row has two things. It has a div here and a div here. This div here is the one that contains this image, and this div here contains h1 tag, which is supposed to be a big text, and p tag, which is supposed to be a small text. So, but this, if you check the finished product, the finished project, the size of this one is not big enough. So I'm going to go there now and adjust this size of h1. Now, I want to teach you something new again. Please open your ears. Peel your ears very well, because you might miss it if you even play for 1 second. You can see that there is h1 inside left. There are ways to pick this h1. I could apply class here, right? Yes. I could apply id here, right? Yes, I will say id equal to something. Then I will go and use that in CSS. But I will not use that. I want to use another thing. Anything that is inside something, you can use inside a class or id. You can use that class to target that element. For example, now this h1 is inside a class of left. So you can first of all reference left and then now pick h1. This is what I'm saying. Watch it. The class is left. So you say dot left. Then inside left, we now have h1 there. h1 that does not have a class. So I can just say left, then greater than h1. This means it's going to look for h1 that is inside left. That's the meaning of this one. Left greater than h1. There's another way to write it, but for the purpose of this class, please be putting your greater than sign. At least it will help you remember that this one is bigger than this, so this one is the parent. So left class is the parent of h1. All right, so after I've picked it, I'm going to open my curly brace and I will put some style there to style this part of the code. Give your workout a new style. Now, this font, I'm going to set the font size. Font size. Somebody was working yesterday or 2 days ago, and the person was showing me, instead of putting hyphen between the font size, the person was writing like this. I can't remember the person again, but the person showed me, and I can't remember who. So it's not font size. So if you're not sure of the spelling, once you begin to type, be watching out for it. It will give you an idea. It's going to give you this idea here. So this is what you want, font size. The font size I want to use for this one is 50 pixels. 50 pixels. Let me save it. It's as big as that now. Good. 50 pixels. Now, okay, this one. Another thing I want to do with this one is that I want to give it, I would have given it margin, but let's still leave margin out for now. Let's come to this place. I don't want the color of this one to be black, because the color on our project, in our project, is naturally black. The color is this color here. So I'm going to say for our h1 that is inside left, let the color be #555. Save it, and then you begin to see something like this. Oh, for h1, I want to do it to p tag, not h1. Okay, good. Let's cut this one out. Save it back. Now, let's come back here. I want to do something to this p also. But just like we pick this h1 that is inside left, we can pick this p also that is inside left. This is how I'm going to do it. You already know it, but let me just do it again for emphasis sake. Left more than p. It means it's going to target p. Your p should be small letter p. It's going to target the paragraph tag that is inside your left class. That is inside your left class. So, for this one, I want to set the color to #555, and then I will save. So the color of the text will change from black that it was before to this one. Now, give your workout a new style, and then this one. The image, I think the image is looking well enough, but let me put another padding inside this. Let me put padding inside this row 2. Let me look there so that it can bring it into the middle better. That is second row. second row has this div and that one so that they can move closer, but I'm using a small screen here. Let me see it on a bigger screen. Okay. Now, by the time you check it on a bigger screen, let me show you what is happening on a bigger screen. This is what we are having on a bigger screen. You can see that the image is too far to the right, whereas the text here is going inside of, is going far to the right, while the image is so small towards the right. What we can do, if you check the final project, you will see that there is something that breaks this workout. At this workout position, it was broken. We break it so that a new style now writes below the line. Okay, I believe that if you have checked the final project, you will be able to see that one there. So let's go back to and fix that. Or let me try and, but you need to see that one too. So all right, let's see. If I want workout to always break off after this T, I want it to break off. We have learned what we are going to use to do that. Do you remember at all? I don't want workout to continue on a straight line. People are putting answers, right? Are you putting answers? You're not putting answers at all. You're putting answers now. You're not putting answers here. You be putting answers for me, please. Okay, I already not said anchor tag A. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now if I want this workout to break off after T, what do? I will use what we call line break. So I will come here and I will say, give your workout a new style. So after this workout, I want to use line break. I will just say BR and then press tab. Then it's going to create that line break for me. So even on the large screen now, the workout will break off a new style. Let me show you. Let me show you how it's looking now on a big screen. This is how it's looking. It has not been affected. It will work. It will work, but it has not been affected. Don't worry. Oh, I need to go and refresh. Let me quickly refresh it. Okay, it's working now. It's working now. It's coming up. It's taking some time to be affected because I'm using the system to also stream to you guys. Okay, so you can see now, give your workout a new style. It will break off onto the next line. That's the work of line break. Okay. You can see that the paragraph here too is too wide. It is too wide into the right. What can we do to make it stay somewhere at the middle? So we can specify the width of that paragraph box. How do I do that? Let's go back to our VS Code and specify the width of our paragraph. This paragraph that is inside left is the same paragraph we're talking about. So here, this is the class here, left, that is having paragraph. So that particular element there, I will set the width to, let me set it to, and please don't worry about all this figure I'm putting in I'm picking from my head. The more you do it, the more you will have an idea. Okay, what number can I start with? Should I start with 50% or 25%? What can I start with? You will know once you begin to use them. I was feeling like the way you are feeling right now too, but please don't relent and don't ever turn your back. Don't run away. So width, I'm going to be having the width of, let's say, when you say 70%, 70% means 70% of the width of the screen. I don't want it to be up to 50%. I want it to be like around 40% of the screen. So if I do that, it's going to give me something like what you are seeing on the screen. 40% is going to look like that. Let's see how it looks on the large screen. This 40%. This is how 40% is looking now on the large screen. You can see that it's giving us more space now for our images, for our image to be pronounced. Now, let me give this image some padding to the right so that it can come to the left a bit. Okay, instead of using display justify between, let's use justify around. All right, let's go then. Okay. Now, what I will be doing now is that instead of making this one and this one the image, we used justify between for them. Let me use justify around, so that the difference between the two is that justify around will create some space at the end. It will not touch the end entirely. Let me confirm that I use justify around. Yes. Second row was where we have the image and the text. Second row here, We have the div of left, which contains the text, and div of right, which contains the images. So this second row, we now style it by saying it should use justify content as space between. So I don't want to use this space between. I want to use space around, space around, space around. Then I will save so that on large screen you'll be able to see how it will look. Now, mind you, all these things I'm doing, there are better ways to do them. I'm making sure that whatever it is that we have not talked about, I'm not using it. That is why we are kind of constrained to be having all this kind of go around. When you become an expert after this 1 month, for example, you will not have all this kind of issue. When you look at a web page, you will know what to do precisely to get it done. Especially if you have put in the work, and people are putting in the work in the group. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are the one that is giving me ginger. All right. So justify content space around. I also want to put, maybe I should just put padding inside this container of second row so that it will not touch the edge the more. So let me put padding there, not margin. Padding of, let's say, 25 pixel. Then I will save it. Then it will look like that on a small screen, but essentially what you'll be focusing on is how it looks on a large screen. There is a way we use it, there's a way we check it to see how it looks on a small screen. When we get there, we will know. I mean, we will talk about it. Maybe most of these things we are still going to change them after we have learned all the things that we are supposed to learn. Okay, for now, I think I'm a bit okay with what the big screen is giving me. This is what the big screen is giving me right now. Let me let you see. This is what it's giving me. I am a bit okay with it. For now, I will leave it like this and continue. Okay, another thing I can do, I can increase the width of the image. I can increase the width of this image so that it becomes wider. So let me quickly do that. Then I can now move away from that second row and go to the third row where we'll be dealing with button. We have not done button before. Okay, the image, let me see the image. The image, does it have a class? Does it have a class? This is the image here. Does it have a class? Yes, it has a class. The class is big image. I'll come here and look for big image. The width currently is set to 350 pixels. Okay, so I can set it to something more. Let's say I want to set it to 450 pixels. Save it. You save it as 450 pixel. Let's see what it looks like on the large screen. On the large screen, it will look like this, 450 pixel. On small screen, it's still looking like this. So don't worry about the small screen for now. All right, our large screen is looking fine. Let's move on. Please, when you are doing yours, when you are building yours, endeavor to try and do something better than this one. You can experiment with different values to see the one that will fit well. At least make sure that your desktop view is looking fine. That is your big screen. Your big screen is looking presentable enough. Please, maybe I should not even grade you on mobile. At least our training prefect, I will not be grading you on mobile. Make sure that your desktop view is looking fine. At least. All right, let's move on. So I've already set that one. Then if you check our final project, you will notice that in that final project we have a button. In the final project we have a button here that if you put your mouse on it, it will change color. The font color is still white, but it's going to change color and it has this arrow inside. That's what I want to do right now. Let's see how it is done. I'm taking you back to VS Code and browser. Okay. Now, I'm going back to my index.html page. And inside here, I will be creating that button. The button should be under this success isn't always about something before we go to image. So it will be under this place, not underneath here. No, it will be under the, we have give your workouts a new style. then we have success, then we have the button at the left hand side like this. So it will be under the P. Under the P, I'll be putting it under the P. So to have the button, I'm going to type button. We are going to see how it looks in its default and crude state. Type N. Once you type N, it's going to give you those options. It's coming up. Okay, good. So the options are coming up now. You just click on tab for the first one. Let me do it again because this is the first time we are using button, but it's the same way we have been using Emmet since Monday. Once you type button, and then you can just click the first one here, or you press tab. It's going to give you the same thing. Which word do we want inside this button? The word is explore now. Explore now. If I save it, come and see what it looks like on the screen. You are going to be seeing something that looks like this, and you see that it is in no way close to what to what we want to get at all. We are going to be using CSS to style it now. Before we go to styling it with CSS, there is one arrow to the right that must be there. And yesterday we talked about how to get some icons that are not even SVG. They are just HTML icons. How do we get them? We go to our Google. And then we type HTML Unicode. When you type HTML Unicode, you press enter, and then it is going to give you this website here, TopTal. This website is what you are going to click to get the list and access to the HTML Unicode characters that are available for us. They are not charging you, it is free. Okay, so you begin to see arrows. You begin to see a lot of different arrows. If you want arrows that look like this, arrow that look like, a lot of icons are there. But the one I want is this one. The one I want to use is this guy here. So because I want to use this one, because I want to use that one, I will be okay. Sorry about that. Because I want to use this one, I will be picking the HTML code under it right here. Picking the HTML code right here. The thing is still loading. So let me just copy the something. And #8594. Is it ready? It's not ready yet. And #8594. I will be putting it in front of explore now. Like this. I'll just say and #8594. Then semicolon. You must put that semicolon there. If you don't put semicolon there, it will not work. So once I save that one now, I'll go back to my project. Go back to my project, and then go back to my project and find. Is this where we normally put? Okay, this is not where. Okay, go back to my project and then see how it looks. I will save it. Save this one. Save my project, and then you will see that the arrow is already there. Now, let's start styling it. This button, I want to style it. Let me give it a class. The class of my button is, let me give my button a class. The system is being overloaded. Okay. I'm going to give my button a class equal to btn. So my button's name in CSS is going to be btn, and I'm going to just come to the style CSS, and I will say, okay, please pick btn for me, and let's begin to style it. Number one, I want the color. The color affects the text inside the button. I want it to be white. Another way to put white is to say #FFF. It's still also going to be white. All the text there is going to be white now. Apart from that, I also need the what else do I need? Yes, I need padding inside this box. I need padding inside it, and padding is what will make it. It will give it space. It will make it swell up so that it does not look tight to the explore now. Let me give a padding of 10 pixels first. Let's see how it looks. Let's see how that one looks. It's trying to process it. It's coming back. It's coming up. So padding of 10 pixels. I need to put background color too, because already okay, that is padding of 10 pixels. That is still okay. Let me put background color. Background color. I want the background color to be a color code that is similar to what was used in that final project. The color code is #FF 523B. This is the color code that is similar to the one that I used in that final project. I think it's the same one. Just found this one. Okay. Then it's going to be looking like this. By the time you check, you see that the border is somehow black. I don't want the border to be black. And all these sharp edges, I don't want them to be there. So what do I do if I want to remove these sharp edges? Let's start from there. To remove sharp edges, you say border radius. So border radius, let's say 10 pixels. Border radius of 10 pixels. I will save it. And then it looks like this. Good. What about this border here? This border is black. I don't want it to be black. I can either change the color of the border or I remove it entirely. I can say border 2 pixel solid green. Save that one so that you can see how it looks there. But at the same time, I can easily just remove the border since I will not be needing border for this particular one. I'm waiting for the green to show so that you can see how it shows. And you can know that when you remove the border, you will not have that black again. It's still taking a while for it to load. Okay, so that is what 2 pixel border, 2 pixel solid green will look like. When you are doing your own, you can style it any way you want. But I want to remove the border so that you will know how do you remove border. How do you remove border? You just come here and say border none. Border none. You save, and then it's going to look as clean as this for you. What else are we going to do? We need to know that this button, if we move our mouse over it, it must change. The background color must change a bit. The background color must change a bit if we put our mouse over it. And I've already explained that earlier in this week. And that is what we call the overstate. The overstate of an element. Overstate means what you want to define something that will happen when your mouse is hovering over that particular element. For example, now I can say when I hover over this image, let it become bigger, let it become smaller. It's anything you want, and anything you want, you can achieve it once you know what to do. So now I want this button to the background color to change a bit, to darken a bit once a mouse comes over it. What will I do? I'll come here and say the class of btn, and then I want to pick the over. How do I pick the over? btn colon then over. btn colon then over. And then in front here, I'm going to open the curly brace. Can you see it now? .btn, which is the same btn that you have here, and then you are picking the overstate of that button. So what do you want to happen when you over it? You want the background color. You have already selected background color here. So you want to change one of the features that you have here. If that feature is not here, you cannot change it inside overstate. It is what you have put here that you can change. For example, you can change border radius, you can change background, you can change the padding, you can change the color of the text when you over, because you have already put them in the main class. Okay, let me change the background color so that it can match up with what we have in the final project. The final project background color that I'll be using now is #56. I wrote it somewhere. This number, this figure, this color code, I'm not picking them from my head. I wrote them somewhere. So I'm looking at where I wrote it now to pick it. So don't beat yourself up if you can't remember the color codes. None of us remember color codes. At least all these complex color codes we don't remember. But I remember, I know some ones that I've been using very, very frequently. I know those ones. 242424, 555, 151515. Those ones are easy to remember. I know them and I know where to use them. All these ones are complex. I write them somewhere. I go to reference them when I need them. So 563434 is the color code. Then I will save it. And this is what will happen. When I bring my mouse over, it's going to change. And you see now, it's changing. It's changing, it's changing, and it's changing. Now, there is something else you need to know. As a modern day, although there are tools that we use now to make things easier, but let me just introduce you to this one too. We don't make things to just change like this, immediately change. No, we allow something that we call transition to happen, so that it will take some seconds, maybe half a second to happen for this change to happen. Let me show you what I'm saying. You go back to the main class, which is .btn class, and then you say transition, transition, transition like this. Then you will say what you want to transition. I want to transition the background color. I want to transition the background color, and the time I want to give it is, let's say 1 second, so that you can see it in action. Then there's another property you can give. You can say ease in, out. That means it will slowly transition into the new color that you have selected right here. Let's see the effect of this new line on the button now. I want to save it. I'm saving, it's coming, and I want to, okay, after it has saved, let's go there now. I'll be moving it closer so that you can see what happens. It's going to take 1 second for it to change. Can you see? When I remove it to, before it becomes bright back, it's going to take 1 second. Let me increase it to 2 seconds so that you can see it very well. 2 seconds. Okay, increase it to 2 seconds. Can you see? Take it away, increase it, bring it in, take it away, bring it in, 2 seconds, take it out. After 2 seconds, it will happen. Then it goes away, then it comes again. So that is transition. So let me leave it as the normal time we use is 0.5 seconds. But when you are building yours, please feel free to use whatever makes you happy. Some people are happy when it takes long to load. So please use whatever it is that makes you happy. It will not remove your mark. Please, training prefect, take note. I want creativity in this project that you are submitting. Creativity. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly, but things like color must look like that too. But things like this one, the timing that it takes for you to change, you can use your own discretion. But the color, the text must be the same thing, and the images must be the same thing. All right. So I've been able to style the button, and I've positioned my things well. Let's see how it is looking on the big screen. Let's see how it's looking on the big screen. Let's see how it's looking on the big screen so far. Okay, this is how it's looking on the big screen. Oh wow. Okay. I want the button to come down a bit. I want it to have a space between top and bottom. All right. I want it to have a space on top. So I want it to come down. What do I do if I want it to come down? I can use what we call margin. We'll talk about it today. So I will give it margin top. That means there will be a margin at the top of the button before the button now starts working. So I'm going to go there now and give it margin top. And I want to give the button margin top. So the button has been styled as .btn. Do you still remember? The button has been styled with btn. So, and I've selected the btn right here. I just want to add margin top to it. So I will say margin top. Margin top. Let's take margin top of, let's start with 30 pixels. Save. And when you do that, it should have changed. It should have been affected already, the margin of 30 pixels. Okay, it's not affected. There's an error in this thing that I've written now. That is why it is not being affected. Some of you had this issue also when you were working. You have written your CSS, you have put the value there, and then it's not working. You are wondering why. See this red something here, this red line is an indicator that there is a problem in your file. You need to find that problem and fix it. When you check the file name too, style, it has become red instead of the normal color. This red shows that there are 2 problems already in this file. 2 problems in this file that you need to solve. If you don't solve it, that work will not show. Okay, so what's the problem here? You will see that every line ends with semicolon, 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 but this line did not end with semicolon. Then it's giving confusion to the browser. It does not know how to interpret it. So you need to help it by giving that semicolon there. Once you put it, all the errors will go away and they will not be read again. Now you can save it, and then you will see that it has come down a little bit. Okay, with that, okay, now let's see how it's looking on the big browser, on the big screen. This 30 pixel is not enough. I want to give more. I want to give more. Let me give more. So if 30 is that small, then let's make it 60 pixels. Okay, when I do that, I will now go to, I want you to see how it's looking now. Is it looking, is it even changing at all on this big screen? I don't think it's changing on this big screen, but I know why all these things are happening like that, because we are using some wrong tools to get some things done, so that we cannot so that we can appreciate the beauty of the easy ones when we begin to use them. Yes, we can appreciate the beauty. So if it's not working out exactly as we want it for now, I think I can still manage this one. But even if I'm a training prefect and I submit this one as my first part, I think I'm doing good enough. It's looking presentable enough. Thank you. So with that, that is all I will be doing on the project. Oh, no. Let me quickly do the second part, which is the images. We have some images. Let me show us the images. Let's quickly do these three image. Okay, Lumia Store here. These three images, let's bring them in and put them side by side like this and make sure that they are looking fine, so that we can wrap up our project on this note today. Let's bring in these three images today. Now you notice that these three images are under this pink something, and this pink is our hero, is our wrapper in that place. So I'm going to put it under div of wrapper for me to have this one. So let's go to our project now. Let's go to our project and bring in those three images. I'm bringing in those three images now. So I'll go to my index.html. I will find where wrapper is. I know that wrapper is that pink one. This pink background is wrapper. And I want to put the images under the pink. So this wrapper starts from here. It starts from this part. I want to see where it ends. System is slow. Okay, I can still do this one. I'll just bring it here like this. I'll just squeeze it in. So this is the beginning of wrapper. This is the end of wrapper. Under the wrapper is where I want to put another div for images, for the category images. So I'll just come here and say a div. If you want to do a div with a class immediately without having to type class, when you type your div, you put dot there like this, div dot, and then you press tab. I think you are strong enough to handle this one now. The shortcut has been there since, but I chose not to share it with you so that you at least you will know how they normally type class. All right, so you are strong enough to take this one now. Let me do it again. There's no magic there. You type your div, your normal div. If I press tab, this is what will happen. It will show this one. But I want it to have class immediately so that I will not be having to type class again. Just put your div and you put your dot. You remember that when you want to pick class in CSS, it is dot that we normally use. So I will put div dot and press tab, and it's going to give me class like this. So I will name this one category. Inside this div, I'm going to have three images like we just saw right now. Three images. I'm going to press img to bring up the images, to bring up an image. img, then I press tab. The source is the location of the image I want to display. I will start with // then it's going to ask me where is it. I will say images folder by just pressing enter. Then I'm coming to which of the image, category 1 for this one. What is the alt? I'm going to make the alt category 1. Please, alt is very important when you are putting in your images. Don't miss it out. Learn the habit of putting images or putting alt in your image, so that people that are using screen reader, like the blind people, they will have an idea of what is there. They have an idea of what is there. Okay, this is not weird. This is not really that one that is making them have an idea. But there are a lot of things that happen on the web page, and all these things that they are putting, they help the web to be a very, very wonderful place to be. There are other things that they use for accessibility to help blind people and people that are deaf to be able to use web applications. It's not this one, but this will help a lot. If your images cannot be presented, alt text will show. Now, I want to copy this one and paste it. I just copied and paste. When you are on a particular line, You can copy that entire line without you even selecting by just pressing Ctrl C. In VS Code, you have already copied. And then you want to paste it, just press Ctrl V again. You have already pasted it like that. So all I will do now is just to change this one to 2 and then change this one to 3. I'm not doing magic with all these numbers. I'm picking them from here. Inside my images, I have category 1, I have category 2, and I have category 3 here. So those are the images that I'm picking by this one. I'm going to be changing them also in the alt by saying category 2, category 3. The alt will not show on my screen if my image is showing. The alt is only useful if my image is not showing. So I'm going to be saving. I will save and I will be expecting to see the images here. Wow, they are here now. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, my assignment is to make sure that they are staying beside each other. How do we say we must make them stay beside each other? Do you still remember? If we want things to stay beside each other, we use flex. So, and we use flex on the wrapper container. The container for all these 3 images is category. So I will come to styles and pick category class, which is dot category. When I do that, I open the curly brace and I begin to think of how can I make them stay beside each other. So I will say display equal to flex. The equal to is colon in CSS. It is colon. It is colon. It's not equal sign in mathematics. Okay. When you put colon sign like this in CSS, it means equal to. So don't worry about that. Display is flex. It means we want them to stay beside each other right now. Okay? They will stay beside each other. Now, when I save it, and we go to look at it here, you will see that they are already having a kind of, they are already staying beside each other, but it's making my screen now to look horrible because I'm using a small screen. I must not allow that to happen. So let me try and use another thing. And let me try and put another thing that will be able to set this image very well. You will see that this image is inside category. So let me target the category, the image that is inside category. The image inside category. How do I do that? I'll come to my style.css again. I want to pick the image now, dot category, and I want to pick the image that is inside of it. I believe this one is clear based on what I've explained before. I want to pick the image that is inside category. Category is more than the image because category is the parent of image. So I'm going to open my curly brace. And what I want to do is that whatever I'm writing here is affecting the image. I want the image to be constrained to a particular portion of the screen. This is what I mean. Let me find my pen. Now, if this is all the width that I have, the width of my screen that I have, I want that the first image will be, well, no, that one is even too much. If this is all the width that I have, let me pick my pen again. If this is all the width I have, I want the first one to be somewhere around here, the second one to be somewhere around here, and the third one to be somewhere around here. But if the screen is wide, the whole screen like this, I want the first one to take like here, the second one to take like here, and the third one to take like here. That is what I want to achieve. So that when my screen is small, they will still be beside each other. When my screen is large, they will still be beside each other. I believe that one is clear. Okay. Let's go. How do I achieve that in my image? I will say, let the width be, instead of setting a particular figure, I'll be using percentage. The percentage will be a percentage of the screen width that we have available at a particular point in time. So let me say I want 31%. 31% of the screen width. I want it to be 31%. And you can see now that it has come, they have come together. So I'm seeing the first one, second one, and third one right now. Okay. Now that they have come together like this, there is something else I want to do. I want to put a space between this div of the images and this pink stuff. So the category is the one that's going to do that for me. I can use margin top. For that. Margin top would give me, let me say margin top of 70 pixels. Save it, and then you see it jump down. It's going to jump down now like that, exactly. It's going to jump down like that. Another thing I want to do is that I want this it will be affected. I want these images to be at the center. I want them to be at, not that you see that there is space to the right, there is no space to the left. I want them to be at the center always. So anytime you use display of flex and you want things to be at the center, you go back and say justify center, justify content, and then you can choose center. Justify content and center. Justify content center. When you begin to type it, it will give you center like that. So when you save it, you should be able to see, you should be able to come to the center of the div. You should be able to come to the center of the div like that. Yes, like this now. Oh, my pen description is not showing. Hey, I didn't know. Okay, I thought you were seeing the pen description. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry. You will see what you are already seeing. You will see what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying now, you are already seeing it on the screen. What I was saying is that I don't want the image to go beyond one third of the screen. I don't want the image to go beyond a third of the screen, just to cover a third. Finish. So that was what I was saying. If the screen is very wide, it's going to take a third. If it is very small, it's still going to take a third because I'm using percentage. So we use percentage for responsiveness of our web pages. There's one more thing I want to do here before I wrap up. I want to put space in between the images. You can see that they are overlapping. I want to put space in between them. And anytime you are using flex as a container, it's very, very easy to get a gap between them. So I will do that by using gap equal to, let's say I want to use gap of 20 pixel. 20 pixel will be too much, but let me start with that. 20 pixel. And then when I save that, you should be able to see the effect here once it finishes loading. With that, I will be wrapping up. With that will be I'm waiting for the gap to take effect so that I can wrap up on that end, and we can call it a day on the project. So training prefect, by the time you are submitting tomorrow, I'm expecting up to this part for you to submit tomorrow. Please get your radial gradient working. If you need help, please, maybe you should arrange yourself. I can arrange maybe like 10-15 minutes to quickly look at whatever whatever big issue you are having, or you post it on the group. Somebody might be able to help. Some people are there that have understanding of this thing. When we're filling the form, some said they are intermediate, some said they are able to build basic website already. So when you post some questions, they can also help. It doesn't have to be me alone that will help. Okay, have I saved it? I've saved it and it's not coming up. Why? Gap 20 pixel should work and it's not coming up. Okay, it's still loading. All right. Without wasting our time, I really want this thing to show before I go today. I really want it to show. What do? Let me see. If I can also put something here. Each image, I can put margin right to each image so that I want to be sure that it is GHT. I want to be sure that it is not the loading that is preventing it from having just file content center, then gap of 20 pixel. Okay, maybe there is no space again for gap of 20 pixel, right? Let's reduce the, okay, margin right. Let's do margin right of 20 pixel and save. Margin right of 20 pixel and save. And it's not giving the gap that I want. I want a gap to be between this one and to be between this one. And it's not giving me that gap. It's using strong get for me. So what do you do when things like this happen? You would think, okay, what else can I do? How can I make it happen? I want it and it's not giving me. So let me take this one away. And then I will take this one away. The first thing I want to do is to reduce the gap here. To reduce the percentage. Let me reduce the percentage to 29%. Then I will save. Let me refresh. Maybe my live server is not this. Oh, live server has gone. That is why I'm not seeing it. Okay, I've started it again now. Live server has gone before. It has gone off. Can you see? I'm seeing go live here now. So now it's coming up again. It's coming up again now. live server has gone. That was why it was not showing. So when you are facing such issues too, try and look at what could be happening. What is happening? Why am I not seeing it? Why am I not seeing it? Okay, I will close the first one, and it's coming up on this tab. You should be able to see that tab too. Be able to see that tab too. Be ready for our quiz. We are going into the quiz now. We are going into the quiz now. Thank you so much that you are telling me that my pen was not showing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. If you can't see the pen. Versification cadence said, let's start the quiz. I don't understand the game for now. Don't worry. Try and calm down. Watch the video little by little and make sure you are practicing. I want us to see the final output before we start the quiz. Be ready for the quiz, please. The quiz is coming in hot. Okay, it's coming up now. And okay, width of 29%. Let me open the gap again. I'm going to open the gap again. By the time I save it, there should be gap between the three images. It's still saving the style, saving it, saving. It's taking time like this because the system is doing a lot of things right now. That is why. If not, automatically, immediately, bam, you would have seen it. This is what I want to achieve. Good. So the gap is working. There's no problem with the gap. It was my live server that went off. And when it went off, all I have to do is just click on go live again, and then you will have your you will have your browser up and running again. So at this point, it's a very, very convenient point to draw the curtain over today's training and to welcome any question from you people. You can drop the question on the WhatsApp group or drop the question in the chat. If I see them and I think we still have time for them, I will solve it. But right now, I want to spin up our quiz platform so that we can begin to come in. Do you still have the code? The same code that we used the last time. Do you still have it? You don't have it. You don't have it, right? Okay. I'm going to send us the code now so that we can begin to join the group join the class for the quiz. I'm sending it in now. I sent it on our WhatsApp group. I'm going to be pasting it also on the chat in YouTube. I'll paste it in the chat in YouTube so that we can be joining. So that we can join. Okay. Please start joining. As you join, I will be seeing it on this side, and I'll be able to. Okay. Good. So let's start joining, please. Let's start joining. It's already opened now. Let's start joining. Okay. I'm waiting for us to join. I'm waiting for us to join. Waiting for us to join. Waiting for us to join. Let me switch the screen to where you will be seeing what is happening. People that actually participated in the last time, and if they are here, I think they will have, maybe their point will still be there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me not promise. But okay, we are having new people. Yes. And now your Deji has come in. Where your Taiwo has come in. How many people do we have now? All right. I believe we can all see my screen. And then once you join the app also on your phone, the question will be showing up on your screen. Remember, this time around now, we are having 20 seconds for each question. I want it to be a bit more competitive. The time was too much that last time for us to be thinking. The time was too much. So let's be ready for 20 seconds each for each question. 20 seconds each. I'll be pushing in the first question in. I'll be pushing in the first question right now. Are we ready? Have we all Please, let's put, if we're having difficulty joining, please let's put on our WhatsApp group so that I can see. I'm unable to see the YouTube screen now. I can't see the YouTube screen, but I want to be sure that everybody is in before I start. I want to be sure that everybody is in before I start. We have 24 questions, and it's going to take 20 seconds each for each question. Are we ready? Let's push the first question. Somebody should type ready on the WhatsApp group. Somebody should type ready. Ready. Somebody that's already on the quiz platform. Please type ready on our WhatsApp chat. Type ready on our WhatsApp chat. Please type ready on our WhatsApp chat for me. Nobody is typing ready. Okay. Nobody is typing ready. I'm not seeing ready yet. I'm not seeing ready yet. Okay, good. Ready. Thank you so much. Let's go. Let's go now. I'm ready. I'm pushing in the first question now. The first question is coming up. We have already done this one, but let's do it again. 20 seconds. Your time has started already. Thank you. Locks in 1 second. The time is up right now. The time is up. Time is up. Time is up. Let's reveal the answer to that one. Correct answer is hypertext markup language. Hypertext markup language. Let's see who was the first person to get it. The first person to get it was not being shown to me. I guess because we have answered the question before. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I think we did 3 questions on that day. Did 3 questions. That one too has started coming in. Which HTML tag is used to define the document title? Select your choice. It locks in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Document title. Okay. It is finished. It is locked. Let's see the correct answer. The correct answer is title. We use the title tag to determine the document title. That is what shows up in the title bar of any web page. Let's move on to the next. Okay, who was the first person to get this one? They're not showing it to me also because I believe it's because we have already answered it before. Let's move on to the next one. The next question is coming or has already shown up on your screen right now. Which tag is used to define a paragraph? Which one? This one, we have done it over and over and over. So we should not have any problem with this one at all. Okay, it has closed. Let's see the answer. The answer is paragraph tag P, which is the first option. A is the answer. A is the correct answer for this one. They will show you who got the leading point at that particular question. So now let's move on to the next question. This one has 0 votes, so we should be able to have our leaderboard right now. I believe you should be seeing my screen now, Sean. The time is going 20 seconds. Yes. Time is going 20 seconds. And then time is up. We have 6 votes. Out of these 6 votes, what's the answer? The answer is... the answer is not showing. Network is misbehaving again on this one. Okay. Network is misbehaving on this one again. The answer is 6 actually, but it's supposed to show us what the answer is. Then we can move on to leaderboard, and it's not showing. Maybe I should try and refresh. Okay, let me refresh it. Okay, and it's working now. Reveal answer. It's already loading it. Okay. Let me wait for it to load, please. Let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes so that it can load and we can continue. Our vote has been saved. Don't worry. The winner will be revealed. And those that want to be competing among themselves, Esther and Thomas, you want to be competing among yourself. Okay, network seems unstable. Sorry about that. Let me change the router. Okay. You say network seems unstable, but we are online now. So okay, you are loading or it's not loading. Okay, maybe I should switch to this one. If this would give us reveal the answer. Is this one going to reveal? It's not revealing. Ah, right. I really I don't know. I don't know why it is not. I don't know why this application is. Let me see if I can get it to work on this side again. I'm refreshing again. I'm refreshing again, saying I'm offline. I'm now online. I'm online. I'm connected. Oh boy. Okay. Is it still hell bent on? Let me refresh this one and see whether I'm really offline or they are the one that is having issue. They are the one that is having issue. I'm not offline. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what um it's I feel like say this jump tag get issue. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh my god. And I really want us to finish all the 24 questions today so that we can have a new. Yes, it's loading now. It's loading now. Yes, we are loading now. We are loading now. We are loading now. So this one should work then. Refresh. We are loading now. Internet is back. Internet is back. Airtel wanted to do something for us, but we are bouncing back. Okay. Logging in. Logging in. Close that. I don't think I need this one again. So close that one too. Okay. It's coming up. Slido is not considering you. It's not considering you. Let me use another browser. I'm using another browser now. Another browser. I need to reconnect. Why will you disconnect? Anytime I'm on quiz, you'll be disconnecting. Why will you disconnect on my quiz? All right. it is perhaps we should first of all be having our quiz. Maybe we should first of all be having our quiz before first of all be having our quiz before the training. Because we would have had a good flow, and then for us to have a quiz, and then there will be ah come on, come on, show leaderboard. I think this one has connected. This one has connected. Let me see. I hope it shows up. It shows up. I can switch to this one. Okay. Oh my. So there is no, I don't think there is anything more I can do on this side. Should we wait for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes? It's connected trying to. I don't know. Maybe I will find another. I'll find another application that we can use for this. This Slido is actually messing up big time. Let me do back to all quiz questions. Present. I'm testing it on another browser. I'm testing it on another browser to see. Testing it on another browser to see if Mozilla will work. Okay. Mozilla is working on this side. Okay. Please hold on. Let me switch to Mozilla for you. I think this one will work. Let me switch to Mozilla. I'm switching to Mozilla now. So let me switch to Mozilla for you. Yeah. That. I've switched to Mozilla now. You should be able to see something on your screen. Okay. We have already done this one. So we are moving on to the next one. The correct answer is 6 for this one. The correct answer is 6 for this one. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I think we are doing fine now. So the person that got this, the person that is leading now is Owóẹ̀yẹ Taiwo. Owóẹ̀yẹ Taiwo is the one leading now. Is she still there or she has left? I hope you have not left. Let's move on to the next question, please. The next question, what is the correct HTML tag for inserting a line break? Time is counting down. Time is counting down. Time is counting down. 20 seconds. You have just 10 seconds left, and now 5 seconds left, and 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time up. Time up. What is the correct answer? The correct answer is BR. Correct. BR is the correct one. So if you chose that one, congratulations. Let's see the leaderboard. Who is still leading? Owóẹ̀yẹ Taiwo is still leading with a cumulative of 42 seconds altogether. Let's move on to the next question. Which tag is used to define the body of the HTML document? The body. Fastest fingers, fastest fingers, fastest fingers, fastest fingers. How many voting are we even having, Seth? Fastest fingers, fastest fingers. Okay, time is up. We have, how many people voted? How many people voted? Let me see. How many people voted? I can see it. 5? Maybe 5. Okay. Body. Correct answer is Body. If you chose body, congratulations, you are the one that got it. But who is leading now? Afolabi Esther is leading. Okay, they are now on the same level with Jay and Thomas with 58 seconds cumulative. They are leading now, Afolabi Esther. Let's move on to the next one. 3 of them are leading. Which of the following is the correct syntax for an HTML comment? You have been seeing me use comment and comment and comment. Which one looks like the one that I've been using in HTML? The one for HTML is different from the one of CSS actually, but the one for HTML is the one that we want now. 5 seconds. Time up. Okay, let's go and check what is the correct answer. Correct answer is the last one, option D. Option D is the correct answer. Now, let's move on to let's move on to who is leading now? Afolabi Esther is taking number 1, the first position. Afolabi Esther is taking the first position. Let's move on to the next one. The next one has been sent to you. 20 seconds. Start taking your answer. Fastest finger. The largest heading in HTML is what? Is it too hard? I was laughing when I was putting this question there. This option. This is too hard for me. If it's too hard for you, let us know. All right, time is up. Let's have our answers submitted. Okay. The largest header is H1. Yeah, you see, H1 is the largest. The number is the smallest, but is the biggest. While H6 is the smallest, even though it has the highest. Okay, let's see who is still leading. Afolabi Esther is still leading, followed by Thomas and followed by Jay. I know is following closely. My boss, you are doing well. Let's move on to the next question, please. The next question, which tag is used to link HTML with a CSS file in a web project? What do we use? Be careful in this one. It's a trap. Tag that we use to link HTML with CSS file in a web project. Which tag is that? Time up. Time is up. Okay, let's have our submission. Oh, it's like everyone got this one correctly. 100% got it correctly. Let's see. The correct answer is link. The correct answer is link. And then the leaderboard, who is still leading, Afolabi Esther is still leading. We still maintain our usual position, our position that we had before. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is question 10 out of 24. The tag used to create an image is what? Is it imagery, option A, option B, option C, option D? Choose your choice or choose it fast and choose correctly. It's very important that you do the two together. Option, what will you pick? Time is up. Time is up. Let's have our submissions and then let's check what the correct answer is. Option D is the correct answer, which is IMG tag. Is what we use to represent an image in a web browser. Who picked it first? Afolabi Opolua is still leading and followed by Thomas and Jay in the second position. I know is at the third position, followed by, let me take this one away so that I can see. I cannot see I can't see the name of that fellow there, but that person is also following. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The next question, question 11 of 24. The attributes used to change the font size of text, which of them? Which of them? Pick carefully, but pick it very fast. Pick it carefully and pick it very fast. Font size. Time up. Let's have our submission. We all got it correctly. The correct answer is font dash size. But who is still leading now? Afolabi Opolua is still leading, followed by Thomas and Jay in the second position. I know is in the third position. Let's move on to the next question. How can you change the text color in HTML? What can you use to change the text color in HTML? To change the text color. We have 2 votes already, 4 votes already. 5 votes already. Where are my voters? 6 votes. Okay, we have 6 people voting right now. And time is up. Let's have our submission. Okay. Let's see the correct answer. Eh? The correct answer? No, 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 no. I chose the wrong option in this one. The correct answer is color. C-O-L-O-R, not C-O-L-O-U-R. Please. The correct answer is C-O-L-O-R. And then it's going to pick the wrong leaderboard for this one. We are disqualifying it. We don't want the leaderboard for this one. The correct answer is C-O-L-O-R, not C-O-L-O-U-R, please. All right. Let's move on to the next question. I will not read this one because so the next question has been pushed forward. You have 20 seconds. 7 seconds now. CSS property used to change the background color of an element is what? We have our 6 votes that have come in now, and 83% voted for the last option. Let's see what the correct answer is. Correct answer is that last option. We don't use BG color again. We used to use BG color before, but now we use background color in CSS version 3. We use background color now, and I've used it today, Seth. I've used it like twice today. So please take note, it's background color. The leaderboard, Afolabi Esther is still leading, 11 out of 13 questions answered correctly. Followed by Thomas now. Yes, Thomas is moving towards. And followed by Jay and I know Ayodeji Ezekiel. Let's move on to the next question. The next question. You have 20 seconds. How do you create a linear gradient background in CSS? How do you create a linear gradient background in CSS? Linear gradient background in CSS. Time up. Let's have our submissions. Let's have our submission, and 20% chose option A, 80 chose option B. Which of them is correct? Option B is correct because we don't, once we want to use linear gradient, we don't use background color. We put background, then the value will be linear gradient, then we put the 2 colors inside that parenthesis. We put the 2 colors there. Who is still leading? Afolabi Esther is still leading with 12 questions out of 14. Thomas is following with 11 questions answered correctly out of 14. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I know Ayodeji is following with 10 questions out of 14. I wish to see the name of this last person here. I want to see this name so that I can be calling. Okay, I have seen a way. Temidayo is following also. You have gotten 7 questions correctly. You are doing well. Please keep it up. You might still win them. Let's move on to the next one. The next question is coming up. How do you create a radial gradient background in CSS? Radial gradient now. Radial gradient in CSS. 5 seconds left. Choose correctly, but choose fast. See, we are able to have only 5 votes this time. Oh, what happened to the 6th person? Okay. Radial gradient, we got it correctly this time, all of us. It is the last one, option D. And who is still leading? Afolabi Esther is still leading with 13 questions out of 15. Let's go to the next question. What does a tag in HTML define? A tag in HTML, what does it define? We talked about this one today, so you should have no problem at all. Choose the correct answer and choose it as fast as possible. Fastest fingers. All right, time is up. Let's have our submissions coming in. Oh, we all got it correctly. A tag is defining a link to a particular page or a particular website, a link. So who is still leading? Esther is still leading, followed closely by Thomas and Jay, followed by Aino Ayodeji, and followed by Temidayo. Thank you so much for voting. We are going to the next question right now, which is question 17 out of 24. 20 seconds has started. Which attribute is used with the anchor tag to specify the URL of the page the link goes to? Let's see who is going to get it. Let's see who is going to we can't see who is going to miss it. But we did it today. Time is up. Let's have our submission. Okay, our submission has come in. We have href, we have src, and we have URL. So which one should I don't want to show you the correct one yet. I don't want to show you. Let me show you. Is it source? Is it href? The correct answer is href. When you use anchor tag, you use href. Image is where you use src. Image is source. Anchor tag, it is href. So you say ahref. ahref. Let's see who is still leading. Thomas is getting 14 questions together with Jay and Afolabi. They are all on the first row now with 14 questions, but Thomas is leading because of time. Thomas is leading because of time. Thomas is the fastest finger now. I know he's following with 13 questions answered correctly, and Temidayo is following closely. Let's move on to the next one. What is the correct tag for inserting an image? This one should be a piece of cake, right? A piece of cake. It was intentional so that we can have at least you can have a bonus. Fastest fingers, time is up. Let's begin to have our submission, and then let's have the correct answer is IMG. And who is leading? Thomas is still leading. Afolabi Esther is following. Okay, Afolabi Esther and they are all on the same line, but Thomas is leading because of time. Afolabi is following. I know is following also, and Temidayo is following. Let's move on to the next question. Question 19 out of 24. 20 seconds. To specify a path to an image in the IMG tag, what do we use? src, href, or link? What do we use? What do we use? Time is up. Let's have our submission. The correct answer is src. IMG is followed by src to specify where the image will be located. So who is still leading now? Thomas is still leading, and 16 questions by Thomas and Afolabi Esther. 16 questions, but time is faster for Thomas. Jay is following with 15 questions. I know 15 questions also, and Temidayo is following closely with 11 questions answered correctly so far. Let's move on to the next one. I think it was because Temidayo did not join in that previous one, that first one. Maybe that's why. Okay, let's move on to the to the next question. 20 of 24. 20 of 24. Which tag is used to create an unordered list in HTML? 20 of 24. We have 2 votes already, 3 votes already, 4. Keep it coming. 5. And we have the 6th one. Yes, the 6th person. The 6th person. I've not seen this 6th person's name. Okay. Time is up. Let's have our submission for unordered list. Unordered list, the correct answer is UL for unordered list. That one is a piece of cake. Who is still leading? Thomas is still leading with 17 questions correctly. And time, what will I call it now? With a speed of lightning. Afolabi Esther is following with also 17 questions. Jay and I know 16 questions answered correctly. Let's move on to the next question. Temidayo is moving very, very well too. The next question, what does the LI tag in HTML define? What does it mean? LI tag, what does it define? What does LI tag define? What does LI tag define? You people are still having time. So instead of you to be picking the fastest question, you are still having time to chat on WhatsApp. Okay. Time is up. Let's have our submission and let's pick the correct answer is list item. LI means list item. Who is still leading? Thomas is still leading with 18 questions. He and Afolabi Esther. But Thomas is leading because of time. Jay is following. Jay and Ano, they are following in the second rank with 17 questions out of 21 answered correctly. And Temidayo is following closely with 13 questions answered correctly. Let's move on to the next question. Question 22 of 24. 22 of 24. 20 seconds started counting. Tell us the tag used to create an ordered list in HTML. Fastest finger, correct answer. We are counting both of them. Fastest finger, correct answer. Ordered list this time around. Don't make mistake. Don't make mistake about it. Time is up. Let's have our submission. Our submission. Okay. The answer is OL for ordered list. OL for ordered list. And let's see who is still leading. Thomas is still leading. But it's on the same rank with Afolabi Esther, followed by Jay and Aino, then followed by Temidayo. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next question, which is question 23 of 24. 20 seconds start counting already. What do you use to specify that alternate text for an image? If the image cannot be displayed, that is when it is used. If the image cannot be displayed, we use that. What is that thing that we use? Okay, our time is up. Let's see who got it. I think we all got it correctly, 100%. So let's see who is still leading then. Who is still leading is Thomas, is still leading, followed by Afolabi Esther, followed by G and I know Ayodeji Ezekiel, and then Temidayo. The rank has been starched, so it's not changing. Let's move on to the last question. The last opportunity for anybody to jump up and leave his partner behind is this one. Let's see. I'm coming up now. Last question. 20 seconds, start counting right now. 20 seconds is off already. Attributes used to open a link in a new tab. You want to open it in a new tab. What are we going to do? 5 votes already in. Where's the sixth one? Oh, the sixth person is unable to vote. Maybe net. Okay, it's able to come in already. Good, thank you. Okay, target equal to underscore blank, target equal to underscore new, target equal to underscore tab. If you are able to get this question, it's either you came late and you did not watch it, or the time that I was saying it, you went to play. So the correct answer is target equal to underscore blank. Target equal to underscore blank. And you want the tab to open, you want a link to open on a new tab. You is target equal to underscore blank. I mentioned it today. Go and check the first part of the video of today. When I was doing that hyperlink, I mentioned it there. Okay, let's move on. Who got it correctly? 20 questions. Okay, because people missed it, so they are all now on the same rank. Thomas, Jay, Afolabi Esther, and Ayodeji are all on the same rank. Okay, of 20 questions correctly out of 24. And Thomas is our leading winner today again because of time. Even though they all got 20 questions correctly, but but Thomas is the winner for today's quiz again. So tomorrow is another day. Okay, right now I want to see if there are questions that I can answer in the chat. Let me quickly see if there are questions I can answer in the chat. If there are no questions, then we can wrap up today's class like that. Let me see. Are there any questions? Is there any question that you people want us to talk about before we leave today? If there is no question, honestly, you have tried. You have tried today. Okay. Thank you so much. In the absence of any question for today, I want to encourage you. You see, it's not easy to learn, especially to learn a new thing. Now, to be learning in tech is not easy. I want you to to persevere. I want you to have the heart of a lion. I want you to continue. I don't want you to stop. I'm willing to hold you by the hand and get you up and running. So please don't give up on yourself, because I'm not giving up on you. If you need help, I can arrange help for you. But even the help we are providing by this video is even enough already. And we still have plenty days to go on. We are still going to learn plenty things. Thank you so much for coming today. Until next time when we see, which is tomorrow by 4 p.m., I leave you in the hands of God, who is able to keep you from falling. Remember, the sky is not your limit. God is. If you have not subscribed to this channel, you are doing the wrong thing. Please subscribe now and like the video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. So I'll be ending the stream in like maybe 1 or 2 minutes so that it can take my last word.